One of the hardest parts about being a business owner and creating content is finding the time to do it. Now, I'd like to show you a little trick I use to help me create more content whilst I'm driving. When you're a business owner and you are working by yourself, you have to wear a lot of different hats. You have to obviously be doing the product or service, you have to be doing customer service, you have to be selling, all those types of things, as well as the accounting, the admin, all of those extra things. And now I'm saying, let's add another thing on top of that. I want you to be a cameraman, I want you to be a host, and I want you to be an editor. That's a lot, right? You've already got all these other hats that you're wearing. So how can we make it a little bit easier and maybe capitalize on the time that we're already wasting potentially by just setting up a camera and filming whilst we drive? And instead of listening to, say, a podcast, instead of listening to music or the radio, why don't we just set the camera up and just talk to the camera? Because I've got 20 minutes to kill now going to work. It's a rainy day here in Brisbane. I might as well take the time to, share some of my knowledge with you. So some things to consider when filming whilst driving. So I've got a suction cup set up, and then from there I have it on a little ball head, so it's holding my phone. I've framed it up. I'm actually using my iPad as a second screen so I can actually see what I'm filming, because I'm using the back camera on my iPhone. So it's a bit of an elaborate setup, okay? It's a bit to do. But now that I've got it set up, I can just throw my camera in there, my phone in there, and it will be able to do its thing, no problemo. Tomorrow when I film another video, it'll already be set up. I've already set everything. As well as that, I'm using my microphone, and hopefully it's working this time. Now the reason that's important is because I don't want to get all the other sounds of when you're driving. Cars going past, the road noise, honking, all those types of things. I only want my voice. So by getting a wireless microphone like the DJI microphone, it's only going to get my voice, which is all I want. Another advantage of this is I have 20 minutes now to film probably a 5-minute video. So I can have a few goes at it. I've already made a few mistakes, I've edited those out, and if I want to re-say something, I can. And if I need to concentrate on driving, I can just stop talking and start focusing on driving. I used to wash houses before I went back to working at the bank, and I would drive quite a lot. I had the work ute, and I would do easily, 2 to 3 hours worth of driving a day, driving from one job to the next, to home, all those types of things. All of that time I would generally listen to music, a podcast. I'd have the directions on because I would never know where we're going. But that could have been time where I was talking to the camera. So now I know where I'm going because I go to the same place every day. I have a car park and I'm just driving straight there. So instead of just wasting my time listening to music, I can just talk about a video, because when I get home tonight, I'm not going to want to set up a camera, sit down in front of it, and then record. But if I do this, it's already done. By the time I get home, all I have to do is edit this video then. And if I think of something during the day, I have 2 opportunities to film it, to and from work. So if I think of something during the day and I'm like, wow, I really need to add that in, I can add that in, no problem. Now the big thing to consider with this is not super high production. This is lower production, it's more real, it's more raw, and that's it's more about the content than the context. So the context of you being in a studio, all those types of things with the good lights and all that, and you're speaking to the camera, you're well presented, you've got B-roll. This is very run and gun style, where it's a bit more documentary. I'm documenting my time, I'm documenting what I'm saying, all those types of things. I think that's very important to keep in mind. You're not going to have a high production car setup in your work car going to and from work. This isn't a Hollywood movie. It's you going to and from work and trying to monopolize on that time and use it to get a little bit extra out of it. So instead of just, again, sitting there listening to music or podcasts, not that there's anything wrong with those things, but I'm trying to be a bit smarter with my time and trying to still get videos out. So instead of getting there at the end of the day and, you know, having worked a full day or trying to rush a video before work, I just do it in my car. I've got time, it's easy, no pressure. Do you think you could add this into your routine by setting up a mount and filming yourself while recording? Let me know in the comment section down below. Advantage to filming in your car is that you don't feel like you're filming. I know a lot of people that really struggle with looking directly at a camera and presenting to it. As soon as you press that record button, people go to jelly. And that's understandable, it's a new experience. I've been doing this for 8 years, so I do feel pretty comfortable speaking to a camera, on camera, and all of that. So this allows you to speak pretty casually in your car. You don't have to worry about anyone, and you get to still present, but you're not presenting directly to the camera. I'm looking forward, my camera's to my side, and then from there, I'll edit it up. It's a much more casual sort of video, a lot less pressure, a little bit rambling a little bit now, but that's good because it shows my personality and it shows who I am, and it's not as clean cut. A lot of people will say when I do a really scripted video that it feels very rehearsed, and that's because it is. And I do use a teleprompter to help me when I really want to get a point across or really want to make a specific video. These videos are more documentary style, or they're a bit more casual. I'm going to make mistakes, that's fine. It's about showing my personality. It's about getting my thoughts out as I drive, because often while I drive, I have what I think are great ideas, and I can never sort of articulate them because I'm driving. I can't stop and write them down like I normally like to. So this allows me to get my ideas out. And hey, if I have a really good idea, I'll just start recording it and I'll edit that out and use that as a idea for tomorrow and the next day. So this car next to me's brakes are squealing, and I thought they were mine to start with, so I was getting a little bit concerned, but not mine, the car next to me. Also a Camry, like my car, but a much older one. But that's okay. So let me ask you, what could you film whilst you're driving? What could you talk about whilst you're driving? Let me know in the comments down below.